News of military attacks by the United States, the UK, and really like a six-country at least coalition on Iran-backed Houthi terror groups broke just before we hit air last night. Now, after the show, we had the opportunity to interview Mohammed al-Bukhaiti. He is a senior political official and spokesperson for Yemen's Houthi rebels, also known as Ansar Allah. What does that mean? Supporters of God. Now, the Houthis are really an echo of Hezbollah. They even adopted their same motto. They're both Shia, and they are both on the take from Iran. These are matters of fact. Doesn't mean that they are matters that will be admitted. Now, he said he didn't speak English. And by the way, even though I thought he did, that's a fair request to want it in your mother tongue. Nuance, context, and just a sense of pride in your own language. That's fine. So we had a translator who spoke his dialect of Arabic, and they were chatting each other up just fine before the interview. So we accommodated the request, and I only had a couple of simple questions. And here they were. Will the attacks that were just launched make the Houthis rethink attacking non-combatant innocent ships that are transiting cargo through the Red Sea?
We assure everybody that we will continue our operations against the depth of Israel, as well as the commercial navigation connected to Israel. The U.S. and Britain made a big mistake in attacking Yemen. The U.S. tried that 9 years ago, but did not achieve its objectives. If it wasn't for the stupidity of the U.S. attacking Yemen in 2015, Yemen wouldn't be capable of launching its attacks in the Red Sea today.
If the goal is peace, why is the slogan of the organization, "Death to the Jews, a curse on the Jews, and death to America"?
The objective is not to kill innocent American civilians, but our intention is to express our anger against the U.S. policy, which has caused many deaths in our region and the whole world.
Will Mr. al-Bukhaiti admit that the Houthis are working with and supported by Iran?
We are not here in the right setting. That's why I don't think your translation is accurate. I apologize, but I must tell you I welcome another interview at any time with a follow-up translation, because the way you're translating my answers is not very accurate.
I will do that. I just want him to answer the question. Is Iran supporting and encouraging the actions of his organization?
When we meet again and there is a capable translator, we will have a better interview. Please excuse me.
All right. Now, sometimes it's a question somebody ducks that tells you everything you need to know, okay? And look, in terms of the excuse structure, they were listening just fine. He was obviously also picking up on what I was asking in English, and he knew it was a yes-no question, and he didn't want to answer it. But even then, because of his concerns about the translation, we sent him the same questions last night for a written response. He didn't get back to us, all right? And now, frankly, he doesn't need to, because he doesn't want to admit the obvious, because that's how ugly and nefarious it is. They are just, you know, thugs for Iran. That's what they are. So are we now in a proxy war with Iran? President Biden says no. He says Iran doesn't want to be in any war with us. Well, let me tell you, they're certainly not hiding, okay? And they're certainly not making sure they can't be connected to anything bad going on in the world. Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of NewsNation's fact-driven coverage.